Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Barrie Real Estate TV, a weekly web series I'm doing in partnership with 705contracting.ca. I'm your host Luc Bouillon, a real estate broker with C21 right here in the beautiful city of Barrie. This is episode 15, and today we're going to be talking about the seller's responsibilities in regards to fixtures and appliances that are included with the sale of a home. It's nearly ubiquitous these days that the fridge, stove, dishwasher, washer, dryer, and hood range will stay with the home when sold. This wasn't always the case, however, and we still see a deal here and there that bucks the trend, but 99% of the time these items are included. Add that to the furnace, air conditioner, water heater, water softener, which stayed with the home by default, and questions now often arise as regards to who is responsible if these items break down prior to closing. While wording in the contracts can differ to raise or lower this expectation, as a general rule of thumb, any item being conveyed with the property is expected to be in the same condition as it was at the time the prospective buyer viewed the home and ultimately made an offer. So what does this mean? Well, any item that's being transferred with the property that either was working or reasonably appeared to be working at the time the prospective buyer had their showing, they are going to expect to be working when they take possession. And as a seller, you're going to be responsible for making sure that it does. So, for example, a buyer purchases your home in March with a 3-month closing. About a week before they get the keys in June, the dryer stops blowing hot air. It would be the seller's responsibility to either repair it, replace it, or work out some other arrangement with the buyer. It seems simple enough, right? If it worked when they bought it, it should work when they get it. Let's take another example, however. The same buyer purchases your home in March and it's too cold out to test the air conditioner. Come June, when they move in, they find out it doesn't work. You argue that it never worked and they bought it as is. In all likelihood, unless you informed the buyers that the air conditioner didn't work at the time of the offer, a judge would almost certainly decide that it ought to have been working as it reasonably appeared to be. It's important to note, however, that these items aren't new. They're expected to be in the same condition they were at the time of the showing, as mentioned. So if a seller does have to replace an item, they don't necessarily have to replace it with a brand new one. It can be a used item equivalent to what was there at the time of the showing. This can open up a whole other can of worms, however, when the buyer and seller don't agree on what is equivalent. Further still, a savvy realtor can include clauses in the contract that expand these responsibilities. A good working order clause, for example, can make sure that every item listed in the contract must be in good working order, even if they were known not to be working at the time of the inspection. So be sure to ask questions and understand what you're signing. Generally speaking, these warranties only apply to the state of the items at the moment of closing. So if an item breaks down the next day, the buyer is usually on his own. However, again, specific wording in the contract can extend these responsibilities further. In the event of a pool, for example, the agent might write in a clause stating that the pool equipment will be working until a specific date when the pool is opened later in the summer months, for example, June 1st. Similarly, the wording in a contract can also be used to nullify these rights. So if you have any items that you are aware are not functional, be sure to let your agent know right away. These can be listed as excluded from the sale, or at least make a note in the contract that they are not working and that the buyer accepts them this way. As always, I hope you found this information useful. Until next time, thanks for watching Barrie Real Estate TV. I'm Luc Bouillon, and I'd love to hear from you with your comments, questions, or topics you'd like to see covered in future videos. You'll find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, or at lucbouillon.com. It may be getting cold out, but don't let that fool you. The market is heating up. Happy house hunting.